Welcome to Elections 101 in 5. On this program, we focus on simplifying the complexities in Nigeria's electoral process. We focus on the how and not who to vote. And this program is brought to you by Yaga Africa and supported by the UNDP. My name is Samson Itodo, and let's get rolling with the focus of today's episode of the show. What constitutes election day offenses is our focus. We took this question to the streets, and here are some of the responses.
Now, all the bad things wey people they do during election to hinder the process, to disrupt the process during the whole election.
I don't know any offense.
Breaking of ballot boxes, voting more than one time, or, underage voting, not being up to age and still voting, to name a few.
Vote buying. It's very wrong for you to go to polling units and then you pay money to voters.
Now, as you'll find out in the course of this episode, the provision of the Electoral Act, that's the 2022 Electoral Act, speaks to the conduct of the voter, election officials, and politicians. Now, there are different classes of offenses. There are offenses committed during voter registration, during nomination, but for today's episode, we focus on offenses committed on election day. What are these offenses? First, any disorderly behavior at a political meeting is not allowed. Improper use of voter's card. And if you vote, even when you are not qualified to vote, you are committing an electoral offense. Now, bribery and conspiracy are also offenses that are spelled out in the Electoral Act. Failing to maintain or aid the maintenance of the secrecy of voting at an election is an offense. In fact, the law also says that interference with a voter casting his or her vote. So if you disrupt, you interfere with someone casting their vote, you commit an offense on the day of elections. And then, if you communicate to another person about how you have voted in an election, is also an offense based on the provisions of the Electoral Act. Now, these are a list of the do's and don'ts that as a voter you need to know as you prepare to vote in the next election or in any election. Now, knowing these do's and don'ts helps you check the process, and it also helps you protect the sanctity of your votes in an election. Please note that it is an offense to canvass or solicit for vote on election day. So do not campaign on election day because it is an offense. And this includes shouting slogans, this includes campaign either through songs or through publication of campaign posters. All of these are electoral offenses provided in our Electoral Act. It's also important for voters and stakeholders to note that the possession of any weapon or anything calculated to intimidate voters is indeed an electoral offense based on the provisions of the Electoral Act. So these are some of the offenses that the law says any registered voter or any stakeholder should not indulge in, because if you do, there are sanctions that are provided for in the electoral law. So now you know the offenses in the Electoral Act. Please do not commit any of these offenses in the interest of peaceful, credible, and transparent elections. And that's Elections 101 in 5. You can watch previous episodes on the social media handles on our YouTube channel displayed on your screen. Collection of PVCs are ongoing in the INEC local government offices, and this process will end on January 22nd, 2023. Please collect your PVCs and do not wait for the last minute. Thank you for watching. I am Samson Itodo. Bye for now.